What happens when 2,000 conversations over 14 years finally hit a nerve? These are 10 times Joe Rogan's calm completely broke down. Jumping right in, we have Dave Portnoy, who once got in a completely random argument with Joe Rogan about whether Tommy Fury is a real boxer or not.
Fury is not a real boxer.
Of course he's a real boxer.
No chance.
He's a professional boxer.
I saw Tommy Fury box. He is not a boxer.
Well, he's definitely a boxer.
Well, he puts on gloves.
He's definitely a boxer. Here's Tommy Fury. You telling me this guy doesn't look like a boxer? You're out of your mind.
Who's he fighting?
But I don't give a dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer. The guy's fighting looks good. Dude, you're crazy if you don't think Tommy Fury's a boxer. Look at that uppercut. Shut the up, dude.
No.
Shut the up. Watch this.
Find the Tommy Fury. Find the Tommy Fury fight on the Jake Paul card.
Shut the up.
This guy cannot.
Please shut the up and watch this. Watch what he's doing. This motherfucker is 100% a boxer.
Can you find me the record of
Watch this. Stop. Watch this. Watch this. Look at this. Look at this.
What is that?
This guy's boxer, man.
That doesn't prove anything. Find me the record of
Just look at this.
Dave treated Tommy like a total joke to boxing, but Joe Rogan was out here hyping him up like he's prime Mike Tyson. Even though they left their debate over Fury's capabilities unresolved, history definitely proved Dave wrong when it came to his outlook on the Jake Paul fight.
I hope they fight because I'll put my net worth on Jake Paul.
What if Tommy Fury boxes him up? What are you going to do then?
He won't.
You don't know that. I don't know that.
I was at the fight, the Jake Paul fight in Cleveland. Tyrone Woodley won, and Tommy Fury fought on that undercard. He was the worst fighter I've ever seen.
Imagine living in the 21st century and still being such a dumbass like Eddie Bravo, who thinks the earth is flat.
What?
And Joe Rogan had a hard time convincing him that it's not true.
Where's the pictures from NASA? How come they don't have any?
They don't have that space.
They don't have the technology?
No, they just never did it.
They also don't give a fuck about proving it's round.
These Japanese pictures, I've seen them. Put them up.
They don't
They're
have
terrible.
that kind of
Show me a
space
real
satellite.
picture. Show me a real picture.
Listen, NASA does not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
That's fake as
Why does it look fake?
It looks something you'd see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie, they try to make it look like this, which is what looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6 moon landings.
Stop saying that because it's irrelevant. We're not talking about the same
people.
It
looks fake to me.
Eddie, that's 1969. We're talking about 2017.
That looks fake.
So you think there's some gigantic conspiracy involving the Japanese government where they put up a fake picture of the Earth from 22,000 miles up every 10 minutes. High resolution, downloadable photo. You think it's fake? Is there a photo of this flat Earth?
No, like I just said again. There's no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo of the round Earth from space.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's all fake.
No, why do you say they're fake though? What
they
evidence?
look fake. They look CGI.
But you're not an expert in imagery.
Joe Rogan instantly realized who the actual clown was the second Eddie started pulling out evidence to back up his wild points.
So this thing that you keep repeating is
okay.
And this thing that you keep, but don't, no.
Hey, where did you get this information?
Jamie.
Where'd you get it?
Where'd I get what?
This information. Where is this coming from?
It's coming off the internet.
Exactly. So you're reading some information. I'm reading some information off the internet. You didn't go to the library.
Slow down.
It's on Wikipedia?
Just slow down.
Eddie, stop doing
There's
that.
sources here. There's a book called the American Journal of Science. I'm sure that a lot of people respect
Which is
that.
bought and paid for.
Well, maybe.
It is. It's bought and paid for. It's part of that.
Here's the thing, Eddie.
It's like the Washington Post.
Eddie,
no,
Eddie, they're not. They're not.
It's huge.
They're not getting knocked
huge.
down. That's why we just read this thing that you've been citing, and you didn't even understand it when we were reading it. But that's how
you read off the internet. I read it off the internet too. I read it off the internet too.
I don't have any books here. I'll go find the encyclopedia if you want.
No, we're both reading off the internet. We're both getting our information off the internet.
That kind of chaos is just regular business for them, but nothing makes people squirm quite like politics. Like in Joe Rogan episode 1882, literally one random comment about a candidate was all it took for the whole podcast to spiral into total chaos and awkward vibes.
Look for someone who makes us feel good. Like, I'll feel good voting for him. I don't like her. She's a and they just decide this is how I'm voting. You know, like that's, I mean, that was a lot of people's perspectives on Hillary Clinton. I talked to a lot of people that hated.
I'm pretty sure everyone loved her. I'm pretty sure she
the
won.
most loved.
I liked Elizabeth Warren. She's
Why?
Cool. I just like I liked her. I like her tenacity.
Artist.
Yeah, but okay, who isn't?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Okay, but did you vote for Bernie?
He wasn't available to vote for.
Did you vote in the?
I didn't vote for in the primary.
In the primaries, right?
Yeah.
I did.
But I had him on my podcast, and he was very sincere.
Okay, cool. I've had my mom on my podcast. You want to flex? I'm just saying.
I think he's very sincere.
But man, it gets way funnier when the guests start fighting each other instead. Just look at episode 1267, where two diet experts went completely off the rails over nutrition.
You talked for a long time, and I'm going to talk for as long as I want now.
These guys were throwing passive-aggressive shade at each other the entire time, making the room so unbelievably awkward that Joe literally had to play babysitter and step in multiple times just to keep them from throwing hands.
Data are very clear on that, Gary. So
No.
yes, they are. Look, we have data.
We can't say things like that, Stefan, because we're going to disagree on what the data say.
Let's move. Gary, I really continue to get the feeling that you do not understand human energetics, because that's not how it works.
Well, no, I'm just saying 10 calories stored in the fat tissue. That's
10
just
calories,
mathematics.
10 calories.
I didn't say anything about
Gary,
how much you have to eat.
I'm not done.
Okay, no, but you're insulting me,
Gary,
Stefan. You got to stop doing that, dude.
Gary.
You keep acting like you think I'm an idiot.
All right, are you done now? Are you done?
Can we be clear that we're talking about...
Are you done now?
Can I just finish this?
No, you can't
you
until
can't
I am
attack
done.
me without... No,
Gary,
you can't
you
do
have
that.
time to respond.
You can respond, write down notes on what you want to respond to, and after he's done, you can talk about
but we're going to get
Now,
into a
look,
long
study.
discourse on something that's not the point.
Well, let's
No,
find
it
out if
is
it is the point. We don't know what he's going to say.
Thank you. Okay.
Now Joe was sober for those other arguments, but this one with Steven Crowder had some liquid courage mixed in. The alcohol definitely kicked in because Rogan got way more heated than usual.
Traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that, because that's nonsense.
No, we wrote about it at loudandbetter.com.
Drunk driving arrests have dropped. What do you mean you've... First of all...
No, I wrote about what the sources are, the original studies.
Just because someone gets in an accident and they're high...
See,
because... Hold on. Stop.
No, hold on a second. This is
you
because you just
interrupt way too much. Marijuana is one of the things that are good. And don't shore, man. Just like you don't shore turmeric, you don't shore ginger, you don't shore a reduced sugar diet. All those things that reduce inflammation are good for you.
I don't buy that smoking marijuana would be as beneficial as a reduced sugar diet. And my point is that people get so offended by me saying that and saying, but if you want to smoke, go ahead.
You might be correct.
Shouldn't be offensive.
But it doesn't matter because it's not a contest to see what's the most beneficial. Since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado are at near historic lows.
You have him bringing up the source that you want to find.
Washington
Bring
Post!
up the study right there. Yeah, Washington Post. Bring up the study that we wrote. We wrote about it on our website.
Look, I don't care about your website, you since marijuana legalization, highway fatalities in Colorado
Since you called me
Joe Rogan's exchange with Matt Walsh was no different. The battle began when Walsh argued that gay marriage threatens the institution of traditional marriage.
Then why are you opposed to two gay people doing that?
Well, because again, it's not about choice. It's about what this institution, marriage is an institution, and what is it, and what purpose does it serve?
Walsh supported the idea that marriage is mostly about a man and a woman creating a baby, but Joe Rogan seems to be more philosophical nowadays.
If marriage is not what I'm saying it is, then why do we even need it? What's the point? I mean, you're saying it's a man-made institution. We are making the institution meaningless.
But it's not meaningless.
Well, but
it's very meaningful to the people that have it.
Subjective, symbolic, and it's about your own personal feelings.
Isn't it, though?
Well, no, I would say that it's not.
Well, if it's not subjective and it's not symbolic,
it codifies and protects and gives a name to a thing that actually exists, which are man, woman, couples creating people, creating babies.
If marriage is only for procreation and to bond a family together, what about people that are deeply in love that never want to have children?
I don't think it's not only procreation, but that is one of the fundamental definitional.
But the tension hit a whole new level when Adam Conover showed up. The second he started talking about transgender athletes, the vibe instantly got incredibly awkward and heated.
Sports with trans athletes who are competing with with their gender, right? That is a sporting world that I'm more interested in. That's my point of view.
My point of view is that, so if you're a woman and you're a natural woman and you don't take any extra hormones or male hormones, you're not taking steroids or any sort of performance enhancing drugs, you're doing your very best to compete and you're at the top of the heap. But then someone comes along that was a man for 30 years and decides that they're going to be a woman, and this has happened, and literally transitioned a few months ago and competes as a woman and destroys records and dominates you in that sport. That's bullshit. And that's not competing on a level playing field. Is as much cheating as taking steroids when the other person doesn't, or taking performance-enhancing drugs when the other person doesn't?
Well, I disagree, and I've.
What do you disagree about?
I've already. Well, my main point being the one that I already made, right? That like, I don't think that there is such a thing as a perfectly level playing field. I think we decide what kind of playing field we want to have.
Sure, but we do make the distinction where we don't allow men to compete in women's divisions.
And I think that distinction may be breaking down a bit, right? And I think it may be time to break down that distinction a little bit.
So you think that males should be able to compete in the women's division of weightlifting?
No, I don't necessarily.
But they can if they transition.
Well, first of all, there's a lot of stuff to break down.
If you're shooting hormones into a child and you're affecting the child's development, you're saying that's not a choice. That's nonsense. Of course it's a choice. You're choosing to chemically change this child's body.
Right.
It's not scientific, but it is true that women are hardwired to be attracted to confident, athletic men.
I don't know if I agree with that. But
really?
Yeah.
But if you ask girls, like, what are you into? And you say, are you into tall, muscular, confident men who are also nice to you? Jesus Christ, it's going to be off the charts. It's going to be like most of them.
I'm really not sure that's the case.
But Joe got way more heated during his argument with political commentator Milo Yiannopoulos. They went totally off the rails debating whether Christianity actually matters in the modern world.
Everywhere that doesn't have a strong Christian heritage is a up place with bad morals.
That's a ridiculous statement. That's a ridiculous statement. Everywhere that doesn't have Judeo-Christian values is a up place.
I think that yes, I think it should be perfectly reasonable, respectable thing to say our culture is better. I believe our culture is better than everywhere else in the world.
Culture of Christians.
I think Christians
are running around doing ketamine and each other.
European and American culture, which is based on Judeo-Christian values, is better than other cultures. I think it's uncontroversial to say so.
But what's based on Judeo-Christian values about being a good person?
Well, ultimately, our
it has
sense,
nothing to do
our
with
sense
the
of right and wrong
involved.
comes from the Bible.
What?
It does.
What comes from the Bible?
Ultimately, our sense of right and wrong comes from the Bible.
Our sense of right and wrong.
I think your sense
of... there's the only way that a person could have ethics and morals and treat each other well.
No, I didn't say the only way.
Don't you think that people understand what's good and what's bad? Listen, if we're going to have a conversation, we can't keep talking over each other like this. When someone's trying to make a point about something that's complex like this, if you think that the only way for a person to have ethics or an understanding of each other or compassion for each other is to rely on ancient myths that are easily scientifically disproven, well, that's what Christianity is.
No, I didn't say that. I said that the specific set of values that you have is influenced more than you would like to admit by your Judeo-Christian heritage.
It's influenced by
there are certain things that I think all of it.
The debate then took a personal turn when they shifted to Milo's sexuality, arguing over whether his orientation was secretly biased or messing with his logic.
Being a gay man,
not who I am. It's
that's
how
promiscuous,
I behave. It's what I do.
But that is prohibited in the Bible.
Yes, but I agree that it would be better if I didn't behave like this, and if I could
choose
to be heterosexual,
so you're a
I would do so.
self-loathing homosexual.
No, and I won't have this.
Because what you're saying is who you are is
it's not who
prohibited
it's not
in the
who
Bible.
You are, because I don't think my sexuality is an important component.
It's a huge part of you. You talk about it all the time. Well, it's a massive part of what we've talked about on the show.
I think
it comes up anytime you want to make a funny point. It comes up anytime you want to define your sexuality or your urges or your decadence.
I think
you jump to it because I think it's you.
And this definitely wasn't the first time he shut down a political commentator, and Candace Owens knows it.
You don't think we have to care about the environment? Like,
no, not even a little bit. Like,
not even a little bit?
No. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. Like, okay. I'm not saying like we need to trash the environment. Like, but do I believe in climate change? No.
Joe shut her down instantly, basically saying the topic was way over her head. It got even funnier when Jamie pulled up a website to prove Joe right and completely blew up her argument.
In 2014, the vast majority, 87% of scientists, said that human activity is driving global warming, yet only half the American public ascribe to that view. So
yeah, I don't believe this at all, just so you know. You can pull that up too, like scientists who look up the opposite. Right? Instead of looking for what you're searching for, looking for what you're not looking for.
But Candace didn't back down at all, which just made the fight worse. Eventually, Joe grilled her so hard that she finally admitted she didn't really know what she was talking about.
I don't believe it's real, okay? So I can't sit here.
But here's the question. But why have a belief?
What do you mean?
Why have a belief as to whether or not global warming is real or not real?
It's not a belief in it. I don't believe in it.
How about not have a belief until you really have looked at the
you
data?
would prefer if my language, as opposed to admitting that I do not know this, I wouldn't die until I've never made a video, I've never made a public statement. You would have preferred if I had just started by saying, I have no opinion.
No, I don't know.
But Joe isn't always fighting with people. Honestly, sometimes he's just hilarious and cracks us up.
It was a really tough fight for me too. You know, it was a really bad camp. It was probably the worst camp of my career. My dad had passed away like 3 weeks before the fight, and like 2 or 3 days after that.
Why does that look so shitty, Jamie?
My cousin passed away.
Boom!
Thanks for watching.